A pleasant Thursday morning to you. Welcome once again to Untengle on the Bridge 99 FM. A very special morning to you, Richie B. Have yourself a wonderful day, Richie B and the Up and Go crew. A very special morning to all those who are on the bridge and now left, even for those who come and go. No problem at all. Morning, morning, morning. We're here for you no matter what. A very special morning to the Untangle team. And we have right beside us as we welcome my guest, Hassanah Al-Saba. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Wonderful. All right, so there's just so much that I want to ask you, but let us start at the very beginning. Let us start how you were raised, where and how you were raised.
All right, so I was raised in Portmore my whole life. I went to a prep school, then I went on to St. Andrew High School for girls. Yeah, well, even though I was living in Portmore, I had also family in Spanish Town, so I also grew up there as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you St. Hugh's, what denomination is St. Hugh's?
No man, St. Andrew.
Oh, St. Andrew.
Yeah, sorry.
What denomination is that? Is it a denominational school? Perhaps not.
I think it's owned by the United Church. I think you could help me with that, but yeah.
Okay, I can
The
help you with
denomination part.
that. I don't know myself, but what I really want to ask you is, what was it like? Because you're Muslim, right?
Yeah.
What was it like going to a Christian school? Because we're not sure of the denomination, but we know it's a Christian school. What was that like for you?
All right, so it was kind of isolating a bit because, I am in an environment where there are not any Muslims around me. I couldn't really relate to a lot of them and they couldn't relate to me. But I must say that it was still, like, people were still tolerable. They did not, even though, yeah, you get your one and two comments, your like prejudicial comments, but it never got to a point where, they got physical with me or wanted to, find me based on that. But I mean, it was really tolerable. I have a lot of really strong friends from there and they love me for who I am and not just looking at me for what I wear and how I dress and what I believe in. So yeah, it was still a really good experience.
Oh, that sounds interesting. And your parents are also you're from a Muslim family.
Correct.
All right. So that, the thing about that I always wonder about, okay, fine, you're a Muslim, you're from a Muslim family. It takes a bit of getting used to for the other students because they've probably never met a Muslim before. But it also takes a lot of getting used to for you because I'm sure going to a school that is not Muslim helped you also to integrate with others.
Yeah.
Not only that they understood you, but I'm sure it helped you to understand others. Did it?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So even though I could, as I said, I integrate with them, I could see what, I went out. But I knew in the back of my mind, I knew in my beliefs that, yes, I'm a Muslim. Certain things will not allow me to do certain things. And I knew that. And I will not cross that boundary. But I still, get on with them, socialize with them, etc.
Right. One of the things that I think perhaps would be a little difficult for them to accept on the first go, not afterwards, would be the fact that you pray so many times a day. Mm-hmm. Did you do that in front of them or did you do it privately or did you do it at all?
Sometimes. So sometimes if class allowed me, I would go and find a corner to go and pray. But they were very respectful with it as well. Like, all right, this is your time. You go and do your thing. Then make sure it's all right and them things. So
nice.
Yeah, I was really grateful for that.
Beautiful. And it's also, you're grateful, yes, but it's also your human right.
Period.
Right, so let's not forget that, right? All right, so from a very early age, most little girls don't want to be a pilot. What was it about airplanes that intrigued you?
All right, so my mother is from Trinidad, right? So we used to take trips there every now and then, and I was so excited about being on the plane. I used to love the feeling of when the airplane was taking off, and I was like, yes, I want to always be on the plane. Like, I was more excited about being on the plane, being in the airport rather than going and traveling to another country and visiting new people. And I was like, yeah, I want to stay in this. I want to always be around planes. So yeah.
Most people are afraid of flying, right? What exactly was it that excited you? What about flying?
I think not just the feeling when you're in the plane, like, you know, the feeling when you take off, you feel that gravity pull. That feels so good to me. I love feeling that feeling. But I was also very fascinated that a body of metal could just soar through the sky so effortlessly. I'm like, yo, that's so sick. I want to be a part of that, you know?
Wow. So how did the people around you respond to that?
All right. So when I was younger now, yeah, my parents were supporting me in that. Like, yeah, she wants to be a pilot and stuff. And then as I grew older, they were like, at the time, there wasn't a lot of information on how to become a pilot and such. And so they were like, you know, maybe you should go into a career field that you would have job security. And they were like, you know, being a Muslim pilot is going to be hard for you to get jobs and such because of the stigma. And of course, I was young. I didn't really know much better at the time. And I was like, all right, you know, they know more than me. Let me just listen to them. So in high school, I was doing more of the sciences. But then in the back of my mind, I still knew I want to fly. And I was still, anytime an airplane would pass by, I'll be looking up, you know? And then it wasn't until I think it was Cape Unit 1. I'm not afraid to say this, but I did not got the grades that I wanted. And I was thinking maybe I didn't get the grades because I wasn't enjoying what I was doing. And I did a complete 180 with my life, and I researched and applied to places to fly. And then I saw like, yo, like this is a lot of money. So I was like, all right, if I can't afford to do flight training, I would still want to be in the aviation industry. So I was like, all right, I'm going to get my degree and train locally to become an air traffic controller. Because even though I, at the time I was like, yo, I can't afford to fly, I still wanted to be around planes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when you went to actually learn how to fly, were there any other women there?
There are a few students now currently learning to fly, but majority of them are males right now.
So it's really a male-dominated industry.
Pretty much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what was the response when the men saw you first as a woman coming in to do this?
You know, to be very honest with you, everybody at the Aeronautical School of the West Indies, they were very welcoming to me. Like, they welcomed me with open arms, and I'm grateful that I was awarded equal opportunity compared to, you know, and it yeah, I never felt like I was treated any differently because of my gender and my religion. So I'm very grateful for that, truly.
Beautiful. And your religion allows you this. I know there are
Yeah.
certain things that you're not allowed, but it allows you this.
For sure. Because there are a lot of other Muslim women who are pilots as well. So
Not in Jamaica.
not in Jamaica, but around the world.
All right. Tell me now about that experience when you first went into a plane to actually fly.
I think it was more of a focus feeling. I was like, yo, this is finally it. This is me behind the controls. This is where I wanted to be this whole time. So to be very honest with you, during my entire training, I loved it so much because it was actually school that I wanted to be in. Because, you
Yes.
know, earlier I was doing courses and stuff that I wasn't really passionate about. So I had to be putting in a lot more effort and energy. But with this, is like I was so excited about learning. I was excited, all right, if I didn't do good on this, how can I make it better? Let me go and research. How can I, you know, I really, really enjoyed it because this is where I wanted to be.
So how did, I'm going to call him or her your instructor. Was it a man or a woman?
It was a man.
How did he feel about your first effort? Did he compliment you? Did he say, yes, you have it in you? Or did he say, oh, what was the response?
Well, my instructor, Sheldon Irons, he really guided me throughout the way. I mean, he's a great instructor. And he, you know, he treated me, as I said, like any other student would. I would have my mistakes. He helped me with them and such. And he didn't treat me any differently at all.
Okay. All right. So you did that. And then when did you really start to feel comfortable now that you can actually fly?
All right, so it was training up to my solo flights. So during training, we have to do an amount of solo time, meaning us alone in the plane flying. So yes, it's part of training. We have to like a quarter of the training is required for you to be flying on your own, and of course that builds confidence. So yeah, I was training up to do my first solo. I did that in like March. And at first I was pretty nervous because I was like, yo, my safety net, which is my instructor, is not here on board with me. But they train us really well. They train us for emergencies and stuff. So if it happens, we know how to handle it safely. So it was that point I was like, all right, yeah, man, I can really do a little thing.
You're doing more than a little thing. All right. So you're taught to fly what kind of plane?
Okay, so for private, we can fly for any airplane, single engine airplane, 12,000 pounds and below. So what I have flown and what we're training on is a Cessna 152. So it's a small little plane, sits two persons. So
You mean the plane they will make a whole bunch of noise?
what? I mean, all plane make noise.
No,
What you
sir.
mean?
The little one they make one whole heap of noise. Bugu bugu bugu. Oh my God. So it's a small plane.
Yes, it is.
All right. So the commercial planes are totally different.
Totally.
And have you been trained to do that, to fly that?
Not as yet. So private means I'm able to fly the small planes right now.
So what you do? What now that you have your license? Where do you work? Who employs you?
All right. So the way how the licenses reach. So because my ultimate aim is to reach the airlines, in order to reach there, you have to accumulate a number of flight hours and licenses and stuff. So right now, with my private pilot license, I can only fly for recreation or to build the hours. So the next step after this is my commercial license, which will certify me to fly for hire. So right now I can't fly for hire, but it's the first step that you need to progress to that level.
I understand that, but how do you actually build flight hours?
You fly.
You fly
So
the small planes.
Yes, correct. So you fly across the island, whatever plans that you're making. It just has to be within amount of hours that you need to fly to get to that stage.
What I'm really asking is, since there are not many private planes, and people don't, or are there?
They're okay. I mean, there is a small amount, but they're there.
That's why I ask if there are not many planes for you to fly on, private planes. How long will it take for you to accumulate these flight hours?
Well, it's not really the amount of planes. I mean, as long as you have one plane, you can fly off the hours that you need to reach that stage.
Okay, I got you. And how close are you to that?
I'm at around 55 hours, and to reach commercial, you need around 250. So say I'm like 200 hours off. So I have more training to go.
Wow.
But I mean, I've completed the first step, so that's something big.
So for women listening here now, I mean, you're all donned out in your pilot outfit and looking so very smart. And so for some women, gonna say, a damn outfit they want to put on, but can they fly? So my question to you is, what would you say to someone who is listening, particularly a woman who is listening, who always wanted to fly but just was not brave enough to say so because perhaps she would be discouraged? What would you have to say to someone like that?
All right, I would say always arm yourself with information about the field, like know the facts. Don't put your sole reliance on somebody who know a little bit about the industry and come and telling you XYZ. You go out and find out your info. And if you really want it, you work for it, you create a plan for it. I mean, it's not just about dreaming and say, I wish I'll be there, but you have to create the plan for it and working towards it. So know the industry and get the info and work and create a plan to get there. Right. And trust me, there is definitely room for women in aviation. There's room for us. So it's not, there's no bias against us. I think there is, and the industry can really use a lot of more women. Like we give a little more cleaner touch, if that makes sense. No, we pay attention to the details a lot, so
yeah, I hear you. Okay, so you also have a computer science degree. How or has that actually helped you along the way?
As in, are you asking about if it's helped with my training per se?
Yes, or your perceptions, your perspective.
I think computer science specifically has kind of helped me look at different perspectives, because I realized that during my training I was using computer science knowledge to understand certain things, like, because what my flight instructor always said, that flying is dynamic, and you're always reacting to certain situations. And I realized that in like coding with computer science, sometimes an error will happen and you have to troubleshoot and to find out what the info is and look at the different management and ensuring that you try to find the error and fix it. It's kind of the same thing with flying. Like you're managing a lot of different systems and finding out the variables and what things are constant, and yeah, you work through it. So kind of help, yeah.
Okay, fine. The question I'm going to ask maybe, maybe not fair, but people still want to know. A lot of people are afraid of flying because, for obvious reasons. Have those obvious reasons ever crossed your mind? And if they do, how do you overcome them?
I mean, I for sure know that there is a stigma against me in the industry, and that's not stopping me anyway. As I said, there are many other women who are Muslims that are flying around the world, and me dressing differently, me having different beliefs, that does not make me any less competent of a pilot. I can still fly the plane. You know what I mean?
I understand that. To be honest with you, your religion for me is just something peculiar to you, but it's nothing that I would labor on. You're a Muslim, you're a Muslim.
Pretty, yeah.
Right?
Pretty much.
But I was really thinking more about the fear of flying and crashing. That was the stigma that a lot of people have, that, well, God, me go crash. Has that ever crossed your mind?
Meaning if I have ever feared it? Or
Have you ever had a fear that, the possibility exists that your plane can crash?
Oh, for sure. I mean, stats show that you're kind of safer in an airplane than on the ground. But I mean, the thought has definitely crossed my mind, and it's something that you have to face the facts. With flying, you have to face the facts because any emergency can happen at any single time. But we're trained to manage those emergencies. Any emergency that you can think of, we have some sort of checklist or procedure that we need to follow. So the industry is very, very. We know that, yes, Murphy's Law is, the law and thing. And so there are a lot of things put in place for us to mitigate some of those emergencies. And yeah, so it has definitely crossed my mind, and I know that my training can really help in that way.
Okay. Has your training also helped you to calm the nerves of the rest of us behind you? Because you train for no afraid, but we're not trained for no afraid. So, like, for example, we on the plane and somebody, oh God, I'm afraid, Lord God. Do they train you to actually comfort people like that?
Not as yet.
Them need for training, because you say enough people afraid, and I know of people who fly regularly and they are terrified. But I have seen pilots come down the aisle and comfort passengers, and it made a huge difference when they did. So I guess that training will really be for commercial flying.
Correct.
Okay, yeah. I got you. Because he's only towing in a load plane.
Yes.
All right, wow, this is fascinating. I think this is more fascinating for me because I'm afraid to fly. But is there anything that you would like to say that we have not yet said about who you are as a pilot, Hassanah Al-Saba, the pilot? Is there anything else that you want us to know about flying, about yourself, about whatever, anything else before we seal off?
That's very interesting because my friend, she's gonna be on a flight from Kenya to New York shortly, and she was like, it's a 15-hour flight, and I don't know how to manage all of that. And I'm like, bro, if it was fun for me, I'm just glad that I'm in a plane. Like, I just want to be around them. I love being at the airport. Like, I feel at home when I'm there. I love to look up at the planes, and when you're in the sky, it's just a euphoria feeling. When you really look outside and you're like, wow, like this is so beautiful. Like the view and everything, it's just breathtaking for me. The whole process of it, I just really, really enjoy it. And I really look forward to continue my training. And eventually, I know I'm going to reach there. I'm going to reach the airlines one day.
Somebody takes me and said to me, say, it's so like you're afraid. Afraid, yes. But no, not as afraid of some people are. But I understand that. What is so exciting about listening to you talk is just how different we can be. because you get excited when you hear the engine and it take off, and then that make people start to be afraid. Yeah, understand? So it's just so exciting how different people can be,
Yeah.
So it's very nice talking to you. I'm sure all
you.
listeners probably thinking to themselves, whoa, but there are listeners who perhaps would have loved to fly, and I'm sure hearing you, how old are you?
I'm 22.
Very young.
So the thing is, I wanted to get my pilot license for my 22nd birthday, which was August 15th. And we were flying, but weather didn't permit us to do certain flights, so it was kind of pushed back, because I was like, I want to give myself as a birthday gift my license. So I got it a little after my birthday, but I still got it, so it's still a gift. So,
It's still a gift indeed. Well, you sound so excited about flying, and it's really nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Meeting you because you're a Jamaican, nice meeting you because you are a woman, and nice meeting you because you're a little different in terms of your religion. It just makes it even more fascinating. Honestly. Yeah. So that's our guest. Thank you very much for passing through. So So what you're doing today? You're trying to increase more your flight hours?
Actually, today I have work. So, of course, to get those hours, I need to work. I need to finance it some way. So.
Yes, absolutely. Very nice meeting you. So once again, thank you very much for passing through. And for those listening, she is Hassanah Al-Saba, and she is our guest this morning. And she is now an accomplished pilot to fly a private plane.
Yes.
Woo! Nice meeting you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful day.
Thanks.
So my sisters will not let Hassanah go. Oh my goodness. I knew the women are going to be very excited. Anyway, one sister says, sister, noise is mainly the propeller on the small planes. Jets, once them go up, them cool. I love how she loves the sky. Trust me, Hassanah was a bird in a past life. You trust me, let me tell you. But the question that we need to ask, one of my friends asking this question. Elise, one question for the guest. First, maximum respect. My question is, what is the safest, smoothest section of the plane in which to fly?
It's very interesting, the word safest, because the same plane going to the same place, but I mean... all right, so the best of my knowledge is aerodynamics explanation regarding the smoothest part, because where the plane is, when the air hits it. So, okay, the answer is closer to the front.
Okay.
And I think that's why they price it so more expensive.
Expensive at the front.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I got you.
because the air is kind of leaving the body at the end, that's where it's a bit bumpy. But yeah, that's just the best to the best of my knowledge, and I'm guessing she's asking based on the big airline plane, right? Yeah, so that's the best of my knowledge.
I think that really makes sense because, as you said, first class is really up front. So, it makes sense. Thank you very much. We're not going to delay you anymore. You need to get your flight hours in. So it's that time in the afternoon. So we're going to join Beauregard right now as we speak. Good afternoon, New York.
Good afternoon, Jamaica.
In that sense, Good afternoon, Beauregard.
Good afternoon, Mama Kelly.
Why do I even bother? All is well?
Man. All is well, all is well.
Nice.
We're here, wonderful day, wonderful weather.
Great.
Yes, true indeed. Last night, I actually got a chance to catch Serena Williams in action in the second round of the U.S. Open. And trust me, she closed that out in fine style, Mama Kelly.
Great.
She's on to the third round now, and this is, as we know, is her retirement run. So we're cheering for her, and hopefully she'll take the whole thing.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. So I do have nothing to share with you in idea. So I am just here to myself now. Oh, God, no, for full up that man. Mama Kelly, that have nothing.
I have you covered, Mama Kelly.
All right.
Speaking of the weather, today makes 1 year since Hurricane Ida hit the tri-state area. And last year, this time, we were in a state of emergency where, homes were being flooded, subways were flooded. A lot of vehicles were left on major highways underwater and things of that nature. So, it's been 1 year since that, and a lot of people have not yet recovered. A lot of people have not yet gotten any monies towards, the things that they have lost, and in terms of them being replaced as promised. So,
When was Hurricane Katrina again? You remember?
That was more. Wasn't that more than 10 years ago? Yes, it was.
It was?
Trini, let me Google that real quick, cause
Yeah.
you know we have this information right at the tip of our fingers, Mama Kelly.
Okay.
So
I know Katrina did a lot of damage in the United States,
Yes, it did.
particularly the South, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Over there in New Orleans and those areas.
But speaking of which, September 11, we now remember Gilbert. Yes, and
Yeah.
September now, so
Yeah,
we soon remember
yeah.
Gilbert.
Yeah.
Them call Gilbert poor people
That was-
storm.
Hurricane Katrina was 2005.
Oh, 2008,
In,
time of
in
flying.
August. August 23rd.
So that's how
So
many years now? Over
That's
10.
what? Over 15.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, time is flying, you know.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So it's Ida. Is the anniversary of Hurricane
Ida was
Ida
last year.
was
yeah.
okay.
I remember that one. It was bad for a lot of people. A lot of people came out and saw their cars unable to drive because of all the water and engine damage and things of that nature. So a lot of people lost a lot of things. It was extremely shocking for many people because some of the areas that people also lived, they didn't expect it to be flooded the way it did, and water rushing into people's basements up to the second
Gee whiz.
floor
Oh my goodness.
and things of that nature. So a lot of people lost a lot of things in a lot of communities.
Wow. Oh, when water reach up to the second floor, a serious thing that,
Yeah, man. Whole heap of rain. Whole heap of
Oh
rain.
my goodness. So September now is when was Gilbert? Let me
September, wasn't it
It's September 11.
Yeah.
But what year?
87 or 88?
88, 89, 1991. No, 89, 89, 1991, 92. I think it's
88.
88.
Yeah,
88.
88.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
September 8th, 1988. So we soon celebrating that now. Or not celebrating, but
But the anniversary will be upon us soon.
yeah,
man.
right. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think most people in Jamaica who were actually born or during that time would definitely remember Gilbert over some other storm like Ivan. Lord, Ivan did boring. Have mercy, no, so Gilbert a hot storm, Let me tell you. Trust me.
We have had a number of storms here in the tri-state area that was definitely destructive. Hurricane Sandy was
Yes.
one of them that definitely did some destruction
Yes.
here in the tri-state
I
area.
remember Sandy. I remember
Yeah,
Hurricane
man.
Sandy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
But I tell you something, you know what I remember about Hurricane Gilbert? My children were very young at the time. Let me say, picking no trouble, And I remember, I mean, me have every finger and every toe crossed so the roof no blow off. Because it's them time they when you can't fix back roof, Me said so. Every tree we drop, me remember my boy them like, do Imagine.
Sound effects.
No, I don't really understand where I go on another tree drop.
It was just being kids, Mama Kelly. It was fun for them.
That time they remind me, I hope and pray to God so the roof don't blow off, because they wouldn't have no house. How about that?
I didn't get to experience Hurricane Gilbert. I came here before that one hit. It was the same. It was the same year though.
Yeah.
But
Really?
Yeah.
88?
Yes, I missed it by a few months.
Okay.
Yeah, but I remember hurricane previously before that in Jamaica. Seeing roofs being blown off and things of that nature. Probably wasn't as bad as Gilbert, but I do remember hurricane and hurricane before, where when I was much younger and just the experience hearing the wind outside and roof and zinc things that bang up against the house.
Man. And Gilbert come at a time when we did have dish. So, say dish a blow
Dish full.
Dish full, me I tell you. And you know what people get dish? Because man dish blow off in a for them yard and them
Land
road.
in the next money.
Poor people stop them call Gilbert,
Whoa.
Fridge a wash rag guy just grab on a fridge and just say, my own this. All kind of things. What Mr. Gilbert a hot star. Trust me.
Yeah, man.
So
There's another thing that took place, Mama Kelly. I don't want to say this is funny. It's not funny. The man is recovering. He was in a coma, and he was stung by 20. Well, he was stung 20,000 times.
What?
By bees,
Oh my God.
and he ended up swallowing about 30 of them. He was in a tree. He was trimming a lemon tree, and it cut right into the beehive, and the beat them just attack him. Witnesses said it looked like he had a black towel around his head.
Oh my goodness.
The
So
way the bees them
how you
rush
get
him.
to swallow them?
I guess they must scream and them just enter him out, Mama.
No, that's not funny. That's not funny, no.
No, it's not.
It's not. Please don't laugh, because if you do, I will.
I'm
No,
trying not
because Mr. Sean just asked me if him did hungry. No, I mean, but you can't deal with the thing, so.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah, be careful.
It's like the other day, you know, some was the some bamboo that I have in the yard. So one of my brethren said to me, say, Elise, pass the spray. I'm like, what you know? I'm going to pass the spray. But see the spray, yeah? You do a spray yet, so tell me move. Because you say, you know what I mean? I want to make sure so that I wash them, you know.
Yeah, man.
You think I easy wash not like them something, you know?
Them attack, man.
Yes,
Attack.
man.
Trust.
Yeah, man, that's very, very sad. And you know, so we really have to be careful about them kind of something. You know, watch that. You might cut down tree, but before you cut down them something, you have to look for see if what bees nest or wasp nest and them thing there in that tree. You know, that he could have died. You know.
Yeah, and even those who were around him were that wanted to help, they couldn't help because, you know, they saw what was going on and them tried. They didn't know what to do, basically.
For real.
Yeah.
For real.
Sad.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah. Well, Mama Kelly, the kids are back to school on Long Island in this side. Next week in New York City, the 5 boroughs, the kids return to school. But on Long Island, there was a situation that was taking place. I had to attend 2 protests, one yesterday and one today, for the reason being that the principal of a particular school, Elmont Memorial High School, they replaced the principal 2 days before school was to open, without informing the parents and the students or anything like that. People had to find out. The information was actually leaked, and that's how it got out. But this principal, so far, he's been there about 7 or 8 years, and he has made an impact on the community, and he's also made an impact on the students, a positive impact at that, I should say. The reason for the protest being is because a lot of parents have questions. They're wondering what is the reason for him being replaced, and us not hearing what it is. If there's an investigation going on with something, I think they should be transparent and let us, the parents, know what took place if he violated any code of conduct.
Absolutely.
In terms of him being a principal. You cannot just, you know,
But this is
remove him.
something that should come up in parent-teachers meetings.
Exactly. And this is what I was bringing up to you the other day when I mentioned the cameras being in our neighborhood, Mama Kelly. We don't get a say on these things. You know, in this school district, which is in Long Island, there are 5 schools in the district, and out of all 5 schools, this is the predominantly black school out of all 5 schools in the district. And you know, everybody knows that if it was maybe any one of the other schools, there would be a meeting with the Board of Education or the superintendent, the district, and all of that. And it's somebody to represent and someone to give some answers to the parents. So far, they have not gotten that, hence which is why they are protesting right
So
now.
let me ask you something, Beauregard. If let's just say, for example, in black communities, your representatives aren't, you know, even if they're not black, shouldn't there be people who know how to represent black people? How that go?
Yes, we need people who understands what's going on in the community. People who look like us, not necessarily they have to look like us, Mama Kelly, but they have to understand what's going on in the community.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes you have people who live so far and are so out of touch with the citizens in the community, they don't know how to come in and do the job the right and proper way.
But
So-
that's the citizens' fault, because of them vote them in.
Well, in this case, in terms of, you know, a principal, it is the school board which is in charge of
Well,
appointing.
yeah, yeah.
The citizens really don't. But he has developed that relationship. So with the students, since he's been there, there's been 2 students who has graduated, and who has been accepted to all 8 Ivy League schools. You know, and the graduation rate went up. So he has made a really good impact. Now, while that is all good, you know, parents still want to know what it is and what is the reason. If it's something that he did, then let us know
So
why
let me
you are
ask you this.
removing
Do
him.
protests actually work? You said you attended one of the protests. When parents protest or the community protests, does it make a difference?
Well, it brings awareness to what is going on. I mean, Channel, they had some of the news medias that were out there, TV news medias that's been covering it for the last couple of days. And it's a big situation, and it's picking up more steam. And hopefully, people will still demand answers and not just, do this 2 or 3 days or for a week and then go sit down as we normally do, Mama Kelly. We run out and we make a lot of noise and then we go back in hiding and nothing gets changed.
And they you see, they will study our modus operandi, so they would know that and just say 9-day talk, give them a little time to run up their mouth, and then it's back to normal. And that's the problems we have. This side too, we have to be vigilant and insistent on change, because nobody no like nice,
True.
Especially thief. Man, and we make nice.
Yeah, man. So it's just some transparency that we want. We want to know what is going on, and I mean, the kids actually are back in school, so we're not telling them not to go to school for that reason. They're to go and get their education regardless, and still let the parents do what they do.
We have to take a break, but let me ask you this, because we are also, getting ready for a school term, and it is sometimes one of the most frustrating things to watch parents here in Jamaica get ready for a school term, because there's just so much anxiety, and it may not be the kind of anxiety that you just described, but this side, the anxiety is about affording to send these children back. Do you guys have the same kind of issues?
Yes, we do, Mama Kelly, but I'm sure there in Jamaica it is much, much harder. I'm not going to say that people don't have it hard here, but I'm sure back home it's much, much harder for folks trying to send their kids back. Here in America, a lot of people try, you see where they try to also, send things back home to assist with kids going back to school, which means they have already taken care of their situation here.
Absolutely. I was just going to say, just use the opportunity to just set it, especially Jamaicans overseas, give thanks. Because if it wasn't for those remittances, a lot of children would not go back to school. So we really have to give thanks for Jamaicans who they are foreign and send things for us here.
Only thing we have to worry about, Mama Kelly, is getting them into that frame of mind. After the whole summer and the withdrawal from everything that they used to do, and just get them back into the frame of mind of books and homework and schoolwork.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break.
All right, so we have Cocoa Tea live on the phones right now. Good afternoon.
Bless up, bless up.
I'm hearing an echo.
I hear it too.
Are you hearing an echo, Mama Kelly?
No. Cocoa Tea, bless up yourself.
I'm more Kelly. I want my Cocoa Tea echo so.
What you know? Me, you did bless up New York. So me say, when you come here, I forgot to ask you if you still member we down here.
Oh, yeah, talk about them. I can't forget Jamaica, but you know, you know that. I just everything starting, I just everything ending.
A true one, a real thing. But then Beauregard was explaining to me. Beauregard was explaining to me how the song came about, because it came about in the COVID crisis, right? So I get it. I do get it.
Yeah, well, that's it.
So
they have a tour me do for 40, so say, I wanna know all of our people living over abroad. Long time them not come my yard. So go after though. I wanna know all of our people living down a yard. Long time me not come my yard.
True. But can I say something? Enough people are come back a yard and all we are going,
Then I must a long time I no come here and I come here soon now. I say man, cause we can't. When all them go things take over and them start going them bag of things, we say, boy, then we. I wonder if I go ever see yard again because too when I depend on certain things like that, you know.
You know what I remember when we said
exactly.
when I heard that we're going to do this interview. I remember the last interview that we did with you, same place here on the Global Connection. It was during the COVID, when people were the shows were locked down and all of that, and you did this song. And the song that you did was you were complaining bitterly about how everywhere locked down and no jam again and all of them something there. So when
the pandemic, man.
them on them pandemic, yes, for real.
Yeah.
So me I said to myself,
Yeah,
say,
right.
what things change now? You're supposed to be in a much better mood.
Oh yeah, say, man. Them not tell us them thing get you sick, man, depressed and all that kind of thing, man. But depend with a different mood we in right now, man. And the road ready for right now. No. Yeah, like we say, Jamrock cruise, we don't have nothing to lose. You see me? And the first tour I'm gonna go do here now is a show in Trinidad the 26th of November. Me and Capleton and Sizzler and Anthony B, the real fire crew out there again.
Nice.
I don't know.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you know, I feel cool that for years, you know, so you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, man. Same way, sir.
This is your first time being back on the stage, Cocotti, since the pandemic?
Yeah, since the pandemic, yeah, man.
Oh, we can't say pandemic.
Me say cocotti, we mix you up. Hey, you know cocotti good. It will mix you up, you know. Yes, cocotti. The pandemic.
Yeah, don't talk after me, no, because them can't fire you, but they can't fire me.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I still pandemic. Whether they fire me or they don't fire me, a pandemic.
I person me I talk to you, because I know you don't care like this. You don't care. You don't care like me.
Oh my God.
Now, Cocotti, I know that you have a birthday coming up on the 3rd. Do you have any major plans for your birthday, sir?
Well, right now, I don't have no plans for my birth or song this year, because I know the reason why.
Why?
Well, I couldn't have planned for nothing, because I don't know what I'm planning. See me see them roll out one of the vaccine again and the criminality. So I just plan to stay home, because I know I'm mixed up. I'm not really invite no one to come over, because you know them I talk about all kind of this and that and all them kind of. So I never really plan nothing this year. I want to heal up. And you know, I have to just stay in my yard and just build forward and just go and meditate and just meditate for Rastafari and just go and build, you see me?
Mm-hmm. Same way, so you see, for those who can't do that, during a cocotti, them in a trouble, you know, because you know, I don't know who might they look too happy and them have an next pandemic come and then you know them just throw water upon their happiness.
Oh, you know, so. One long time with that year, so little boy, man, a plan and jaw wipe out. It look like a jaw plan and man a wipe out the one. They reverse it.
In the reverse, you know, it don't go look like it reverse, but it no reverse. So hold on a little cocotti. Let me ask you, in a reverse, Coco, trust me, in a reverse. Because remember saying that.
In a reverse, because they can't reverse nothing.
They can't reverse it. The people them we are planning to know what go on.
They have no position to reverse nothing, man. Yeah, true.
Look here.
True.
You see the pandemic. You see the pandemic. Them never expect say people would have, remember say enough people couldn't work, you know, and a lot of people lost their jobs. Mm-hmm. You think that they expected that the people who lost their jobs don't want it back? They never planned for that. The people them don't want back the work, you know.
No.
You know see what go on.
This thing backfire upon them in a terrible way and
terrible way. But everybody don't know already.
They can't come out some talk.
But the ironic thing, you know, Mama Kelly and Cocotti, with this whole pandemic, as you say, a lot of people lost their jobs during this time. And the people responsible for a lot of people losing their jobs, now they are coming out to ask us to vote for them so they can keep their jobs.
You see,
that's why I make the tune. That's why I make the tune where say, when they find a politician, they might leave, make we lock them up. Carry them out the street and make we hang them up and box them up. And people say this and that, but them too wicked.
Why go
people?
You see the song where you sing there? Let me tell you the truth where God love. You see when me listen to them the lyrics there, you see although me agree with every single word you say, the way oh you don't go deal with them way that would have make me lose my work. Trust me.
That's too bad, but like me say, you shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. That's why His Majesty say, read the Bible, because no matter what farm language or what farm it is written in, you find the truth in it. Mm-hmm. So, well, after all this, come out and say the truth, and we know say boy, and it's sometimes the same Bible says not every truth to be known. So, You know, sometimes I have to just go and build, but boy, I can't do better like you know, I say already. I can't water down, boy. Can't water down at all.
You know, Kokoti, a lot of people.
Politicians can never agree, because you're so evil, them is, like the youth say, then come back and ask, take away people, them job and come back and ask, you know, for you to vote for them. Vote for what? That's what we have vote for.
But what you're saying, Beauregard?
Voting for politics.
No, I was going to ask. I'm asking Kokoti that a lot of people know that they're trying to move away from this whole COVID era that they've been through. A lot of people are going to still have it in the back of their minds, and a lot of people are trying to come out now and trying to free up themselves and get back to some sense of normalcy, even though we won't get back to it. One of the ways in which a lot of people are going to be doing so is this cruise that is coming up, which is the Welcome to Jamrock cruise, and this is one of those international cruises that's going to have people from all around the world on it. What do you have for your international audience?
Well, I want the audience to know about Cocoa Tea from a long time now. Elise still can't tell you that, Mama know that you want more Cocoa Tea. Never expect nothing from you, because you never know what I am going to do.
You're so right. But can I tell you something, Kokoti? Make I tell you what me know about you. Me know say, no matter what it is that you have up your sleeve, the people are going to crack up. They are going to have a wonderful time.
Yeah,
and based on where you have to talk, say, you're just going to lift up the place. And that me know about you.
Exactly. So when it comes to Kokoti, you have to expect the unexpected at all times.
And
there's no way you can predict me or expect anything from me. So we risk off. We sure it's not a show we carve out in a stone,
and
different things.
And Kokoti, just as you said, you're unpredictable, and we cannot predict what you are going to do. But one of the things that I look forward to when I see you perform is when you hold one rhythm and just sing all 10, 15 songs on it. That's one of my favorite things. And not a lot of artists still do that today, and you are one of those few that still do that every performance.
But guess what to I man now, my youth. I come from a thing named dancehall, original dancehall. Not I wouldn't come papa show something what me never call dancehall. I come from the days when time the selectors like Danny Jodad or Isla and them big man they spin play the vocals and spin over the rhythm and so them boy DJ take it and DJ say come in Cocotti and you have to sing, and when you sing, you know me I say you have to be versatile in them time, and them with them and I come from some of those used it that way they say any rhythm you show give me supposed to can sing upon that.
Exactly.
So all of my song them I'm teach myself to fit them upon one of them, because if the band can't play, I want them to play one night and sing out everything. You know, miss nothing.
True.
But that in itself is a gift, and a lot of people who don't come out of the dancehall culture are amazed at how artists can do exactly what you say you do. One rhythm and they're sing, but I want to tell you something, good while now, dance I keep. I don't want to call it puppy show dance, but what dance I keep. And some of the young youth, them, they name a call, name brand young youth, them. And I think it was Jalov. And Jalov play one, they lost.
Them lost.
They don't know what to do.
Mama Kelly, I see it all the time.
Then turn to Frankie.
Yes, quick.
Lost. And here's the thing now with the new technology. The thing with the new technology, Mama Kelly and Kokoti, they walk with their flash drive and them have them own rhythm. And them expect that for every person that touch a microphone, the rhythm is gonna change. And also dance all go. We're not supposed to can find some lyrics that can fit on the rhythm that is being played.
Like the
I want something right now with them I call name dancehall. Me know what? No one hear them listen to that. You know something on my something. You know depend that. Cause right now music have soul, and if there's no soul in it, and that,
So how many times have you performed at the Welcome to Jamrock? Is it more? How many times?
I want to say one time I never go on a cruise. One time I never go on a cruise. One time I go on Welcome to Jamrock.
Oh really? So this is your second time?
Second time I go on a cruise. I remember born and grow out in the water down a Rocky Point there. And the second time I'm gonna go on a cruise and I welcome to Jamrock. I want to tell you something, if I go on the next cruise and then boy we kinda get sick. Not feeling well and anything, I couldn't go on the last time. That same thing again, I couldn't go, and then I welcome to Jamrock. So welcome to Jamrock. Mr. Rock.
See him, sir.
Yeah, man, Mr. Rock, Rock, I said, you know.
Yeah, man.
Jonah Gang and Steve Marley and all our family, them staying here, so. I know nothing.
You're an artist.
Family
You're an artist. You see, when an artist here say Cocotti go dip on a show, we just get glad. We're not artists, but with them also know. We just get happy. You know, God know. That we can predict.
Yeah, man, because them don't know, so right now, we just come from make people full joy themselves, because we don't deal with the enjoy business, you know. We are dealing with a full enjoyment thing. When you come, you just come out and come full joy yourself and we bless up you. Because the first thing you know, you come out in time, we touch the stage, we have to hail His Majesty first, and then everything else come after, you know. Period, because I just we think there from long time. And we not switch and we not change and we not bow out, because right now, there's no two-way in life for I and I, you know. It's just one straight. So I say, there's a straight and the narrow, and you have the wide and the disastrous. So I'm always try my best to just hold the straight and narrow scheme, isn't it?
Yeah, man. And that's what we expect of you. The people them who come for see Cocotti, no come for see Cocotti cousin. Them come for see Cocotti.
There you go. You know, you're the youth every time you come and look forward to see something, certain things from me, because Cocotti have a special signature. People where always come with something you can identify him from.
Yes.
No, but no matter the artists nowadays, you can identify them from his boy. You can't talk them to the on the radio.
So we're going to take a commercial break. Don't move, Cocotti. We're going to come right forward.
Now, Mama Kelly, I can't tell you everything that Mr. Calvin Scott touches becomes a hit.
Trust me.
Everything the man touch become a hit. Cocotti, where do you get the inspiration from?
The Most High.
See.
And the people in Jamaica, because I can't tell you one thing. If you can't be inspired by Jamaican people, you cannot be inspired in at all, because Jamaica no one. Remember, there's some people like Miss Low and Marshall and all them people there.
And one thing I tell you, if you can get Jamaican people to move, and if you can get Jamaican people to step forward and to love you, you can't get anybody to do that.
Okay. The whole world has to love you. Nowhere in the world you can go and can't tell you no. Once you make you can move Jamaican, then you have it like that.
So true.
You see me say, and that is why we mix the water, we mix the food, we mix everything from down there, because that's what happened. It is never the same nowhere in the world.
You know,
nowhere in the world, it is never the same like Jamaica.
You know, earlier on I said that you're an artist, because anyway the artists them here say Cocotti go there, them just come in. So and I rest my case. I just get a text a while ago from none and only Sister Carol. So Sister Carol say pay close attention. The vaccines are free, yet you pay for your COVID test. Real pandemic. I not gonna further with that. You're a friend. Are your sister that? So
my sister that then she not have true chatter.
Of course.
I true chatter, you know, because guess what happened now? You know what happened to us as black people, and it is sad to say, but we are too much into things on our own. You know what I say? And we so quick to jump to if them say jump. Yes, say, oh, I. And that's why most of I and I were like, my little crew, them we know from long time, we love put up resistance and all that kind of thing. Them don't like we.
That's true.
You don't matter.
Let me ask you this, Calvin. You're on a cruise, right? And you're doing a performance. How different is it from when you're just on a stage show where when the show done, you can go about your business, but on a cruise you're kind of locked in, and your fans are there with you. What kind of experience is that? How different is that?
Well, it's a different experience, like you say. When you're on the land and you finish performing, you go home and you do your business and everything. When you finish on the cruise, you got to you let yourself go and just unwind, and you know me, I said just interact with the fans and make them feel nice, because you don't really get the opportunity to come around and come take picture with you like that in most instances. Because as we come off our stage, we might take 2 pictures, we're gone. But we can't leave, because unless you run gone in your cabin, go and lock up and all them things. I'm not the farm boat to go lock up in a cabin. You know what I say? When I'm on finished performing, I just go around and yell up the fans them and, you know, I say interact with them and sign some autograph and take some photograph and just no selling boys like a family come together. It's a family oriented feel kind of settings when you go up on them things. So you know, I say you have to be your mind you have to have the mindset prepared that way there.
Yeah.
And don't like enough of them love going like Michael Jackson and them jump in and put on whole pack up over their head and run gone and all that. You know, do that.
Oh my goodness! So you actually enjoy interacting with your fans and that's what.
Kokoti, I know that when you're on the boat, you know, everybody's gonna know when people are performing and things of that nature. But could you just let our listeners know if you know what event and what day you will be performing on the cruise?
Well, I know them say it's the first.
The first event.
The first night.
Okay.
First night, yeah. It's Kokoti, Hassanah, and Taro Siley.
Okay.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
And that time on to them tonight on the schedule say. That's the first night, you know what I say? Well, otherwise from that I don't know what's the lineup otherwise, but I just know Kokoti night, them say the first night and I just go there to rock the house because a long time you don't hear Kokoti, you know what I say?
You see, most people that go up on a cruise, like a reggae cruise, the people that I know, them go up on a reggae cruise like that specifically to interact with the artist. And you see, because the artist has not interacted with people for a long while, them looking forward to it even more.
Yes, man, it's a joy, man, because like I said, mama, how much you don't like where we know from one, I tell you, we touch one, we're 6 foot from one, oh, God, man.
No, we're laughing, you know, but it's serious.
The good thing about the
Mama,
first night.
It's serious, man. When the man told us we can't go near 6 foot. Eh? Oh, God, man. When somebody tell us you can't go near people and closer than 6 foot and all, how will them people are getting kind of thing, the man? My, oh, me, oh, my boy. I tell the politician, them are evil. 6 foot, you know. Can you imagine? I want to come 6 foot, you have a mask and can't blow up on you can't blow up on them and all them.
But you know the good thing about that, Kokoti, I can tell you what I find the good thing about that. You see, because it has never happened to us before, for those people who thought they could do without people, for those people who thought that our energies don't correspond and is that each and everyone energy don't boost each other's energy, know them know if start to respect people more.
No, them know, cause that's why I want American artist to build a song and say, boy, not because you live on the hill and I live down here on the flat. Everything you do indirectly affect me, whether you know it or not.
Yes.
Because that's why we were born, you know, we were born to interact, we were born to connect.
Yep.
It's a connection the way we have to connect. You can't have a little picture and make him go crawl and put dirt in their mouth and all them things, you know. Because of them things they keep them healthy.
Yeah. For real.
And most people have to go forward, go learn them things and know so them boy. We are here as human beings, we have to touch each other, we have to hug each other, we have to embrace each other. And that make the world go. That's why you hear the man say, man, people make the world go around.
Yeah, man.
The world couldn't go around unless people unite, man.
Same way, so. We learned that
so
lesson.
No, like that you say that is real, that is so true. We learn now that we cannot live without each other.
Can't.
Yeah, man.
Kokoti, what would you say is the most positive thing that has happened to you in the last 2 years during this pandemic?
Well, the most positive thing that happened to a man in the last 2 years is how I see a lot of people come to the realization, say, it wasn't a real pandemic, it was a pandemic. And I've been saying that, so we have been vindicated for saying those things. You know what I say? And even though the lamestream media now come out confident because them feel like selling boy, you know, I'm going to tell you now, so boy, cow jump over the moon like one time, you still to believe it. Same way. You get what I say? But enough people come to the realization and say, boy, what them not tell them a lie. And when we say boy a lie, them a tell. And say, boy, oh, wait, you better do this and you better do that, you better do that and business. So them thing there is a positive for you and I is a plus. Because if some people could live this pandemic over again, some things with them do, them wouldn't do it.
True.
Because them know say it wasn't anything that was the truth, it was a lie. And it was all planned just to reduce the world population and to control the people in mind electronically and all these kind of things. So, but like me say, certain things we don't really want to step on the radio station because I don't want to call them up and tell them this and that because I have something to say now and I say it, you know, people run away, you know, when I say something.
Coco T, can I just say something to you? You look like you forgot to say boss make you there. So how are you gonna say so?
but you know what, the boss, I all away as artists spread it out. We ask the boy right now, we don't want we don't want to put him thinking in a jeopardy now because he was a part of us and we is a part of him. You know what I say? Because we are all in this thing together.
Absolutely.
You get what I say?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we make the music and you people who play the music are an integral part of it because it's you who establish the music that people know the music that when people come on stage show and when Coco T the first line in that everybody knows because it's a one big family.
You're right. And let me ask, this is my final question to you. Just like what you said a while ago, that's just the truth because we are family. I mean, sometimes you hear us laughing. It's like we just know what you're going to say because we know you this long time. Are you going to give the people know that we can actually dance and go to party and have fun? Are you going to give the people another song that will make us happy? We need happy songs, Calvin.
Well, I tell you, I have just something planned, see. And you know, Coco T already, when you tell us I have something planned, you know, look out. Look out. Because right now, we don't have no fun for how long now, you know. And when we come out of the situation and things, we're going to have some fun and start do some music, so boy, me have tell you to go shoot down John and go shoot down Paul and boy, right now. It's the thing just get a bag of people mad. Uno mad sick and uno sick dead and all and kind of thing. This thing was it was a terrible thing in calling for the nation, you know. So like you said, we need something to be happy again.
Yes.
Yes.
We can turn it around. We can turn it around. Because no matter what they're planning and no matter what them foresee, me still see say, man a plan and Jah wipe out. So you continue to just give the people happy music because them cannot stop that.
Thank you.
True indeed.
And this is my first interview since this pandemic situation. So just give thanks. When Bobby call I'm on tell him, all right, I have some other engagement and I tell him, Roger, don't worry yourself, I'll do it Thursday. Worst you go when you go mention Imo Kelly. So I say, this young youth, it's a pleasure for know, boy, you still have young people where I think positive and conscious in the business. Everybody, all our young people them gone mad, you know.
That's why we need you. That's why we need you, Calvin. Yeah. We need you. We need your energy. We need your vibration. We need the things that you say. We need your seriousness. We just need you.
Yeah, man. I'm on there for represent, man. Representation. That's me there for.
Beautiful.
Coco T, give thanks. It was a pleasure. This was my very first time interviewing you as well. So it was definitely a pleasure. Yeah,
no,
man.
sir.
I wasn't on the other one. No.
Who was it there then? Are you seeing one of me and you interview? No? No, me and Beauregard interview you.
No, it was you, Mama.
It was just me alone. No, sir.
Are you alone, man? Are you
alone?
Are you alone?
Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right.
But one thing I tell you, tell the people when they come in, just come out for rock. Because Jamrock, it means we're going to rock for all night.
Nice.
We're going to party and have fun and interact. Nice. And we're going to have time for not being 6 foot from each other there at them time they again. What do them? I'm not them mad. Get so mad. You mad?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Let's come out, focus, you have everything to wait for them. You see it?
Nice. All right. So this is how we yeah, man. Bless up yourself to Coco. It's always a pleasure and always a pleasure. And we look forward to hearing all that. Nicky Z is going to be on the cruise, right? You go be on
New York,
cruise?
Jamaica, New York, Jamaica, New York, Jamaica, everywhere we are listening right now. No, Europe, Europe.
Cocotia, happy birthday on Saturday.
Yes.
Give thanks, give thanks.
Yeah,
All
man.
right. Love
Bless
of
you.
yourself. See? All right.
Bless, bless.
Yeah, man.
One and only, you know. And if you feel
One
like
and
say
only.
any more there, no more no there.
Short man from Clarendon.
Serious. So, Beauregard, it's always a pleasure. And
Always, Mama Kelly. Always.
me, I go look back in my files. I go ask Van to look back in the file there because me could have swear say me and your interview,
No,
Cocotti.
Mama, it was just you. I saw that interview actually. It was just you, Mama.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, you have yourself a wonderful weekend.
You do the same.
All right. Heart full of love.
Take care.
All right. And for everyone, this is how we say so long. Give thanks. New York, always a pleasure. Tri-state, Jamaican diaspora. We always love to interact and vibes up with you. Beauregard, bless up yourself. Nikki Z's here. So, again, one big heart full of love.